Mm, It's I Survived a Serial Killer. This one is part two because it was in Kentucky when I was a junior in Kentucky too in 1997.
I'm Holly Dunn,
Look at her.
and I survived a serial killer.
We're the same age about.
In 1997, I was just going into my junior year at the University of Kentucky. I had a boyfriend.
Me
He
too.
had been out of
Oh,
town
but,
for
oh,
about two
how
weeks,
different from
and
you
I was super
Kentuckian.
excited to see him. Chris was a big teddy bear. He gave great big giant hugs. He was charming and so sweet and kind.
Oh
He
no, not the
was
serial killer kind.
just a great guy.
Too bad that serial killer got him. I'm sorry, honey. Like
So
she
he came
said,
and picked
just
me up that night, and we went to a party, and it was kind of dull.
rockin'.
I
No,
think Chris
we
realized that I
dove.
was sort of bored and didn't really want to be there, and I'd just rather be going
I'd
home with
rather
him.
be with the serial killer.
So he was like, "Well, the railroad tracks are really close by. Let's go take a walk."
Let's go over there in
And
Kentucky.
I was like, "This
Because
sounds like
there's
a great
nothing that
idea."
can go wrong in them hollers there.
Chris and I were sitting along the grass that's beside the tracks.
Some scary
I don't think I
places out
stopped
there.
talking. It was just
There's
so
some
nice to
scary
actually be alone
places in
together and to
Kentucky,
actually
trust
have that
me.
time to get to know each other better.
Didn't want to get to know each other better.
I think it was around midnight that we decided, well, let's go back to the party. We start walking along the tracks to go back, and a man comes out from behind an electrical box, and he said, "Do you have any money?"
No.
We're kind of startled. We tell him we're poor
Let
college
me
kids
get
and we don't have any money.
a
And so
bottle.
I start to
Let's
offer him
start to
our
run.
card, our credit cards, our ATM cards, and that's when I saw the weapon. It looked like an ice pick. It was thin and it was sharp at the end. And
And I did not
he
run.
made Chris get down on his knees and started going through Chris's backpack. I thought he was
I would
asking
have
for money.
pushed him over
What he
and
was doing
fucking
was tying up
ran.
Chris's hands behind his back with his backpack. Your mind can't understand that somebody's wanting to cause you harm.
Hurt you.
It doesn't cross your mind. At that point, with the weapon in his hand, he took off my belt and he tied my hands behind my back with my belt. He pulled Chris
That's so
into the
scary.
grass beside the tracks. I walked down where Chris was because I was not going to leave Chris. I remember him ripping a shirt and he tied up my legs, he tied up Chris's legs, and then he made gags for us. And when he tied my gag, it didn't work because I was sticking my tongue out really hard and far.
Good.
See the unsophistication. He's using fabric to put around her neck. He used belt to bind to
Oh,
hands and feet. It wasn't like he brought handcuffs or zip ties or something like that.
If I
wasn't
use my
that
voice like I have
sophisticated?
nothing, I need my voice. I think he retied my gag at least 3 times. Our attacker would go back up to the tracks, supposedly to look for somebody he was waiting for. And I got my hands untied. I'm taking off Chris's gag. I'm trying to untie his arms. I couldn't figure out how his arms were tied up in the backpack. Chris and I were strategizing at that point. We were going, okay, can you get your legs untied? Go run away and get help. And I'm thinking, no, I am not
I
going
can't leave you
here.
behind. Well,
Our
one of
attacker
us
is
has to stay behind
separated.
with this.
And so I'm trying to talk to him and still tell him, like, what
No,
do you
get
need?
out of here,
They were
bitch.
trying to talk to him, but they were talking to someone who did not care, who had no humanity whatsoever. I was probably 3 or 4 feet away from Chris. We were both laying on our bellies. And I just remember our attacker carrying this really heavy rock. It was like so heavy that he was having to like kind of hold it like a baby.
And he put it right on top of Chris's
And I
head.
just remember him coming over to Chris and he just dropped it on his head.
Bye, Chris. Good
And
night,
it was
Moon.
like a dream. mean, I didn't really understand what was happening.
What the fuck did you just do?
Now I know that what I heard was actually a death rattle. It was his last breath. That's what I heard.
Love those death rattles. Love to learn about that stuff when you get older. What's a
We used
death
weapons that
rattle?
happened to be at the scene. There was tremendous rage apparent in all the blows to the bodies. In 1998, we got the murder case of Dr. Claudia Benton. She had been killed, beaten in the head with a sculpture that was in her bedroom, and sexually assaulted. It just was like something out of a horror movie.
Dr. Benton.
Just to see how he had treated her and her body. We didn't have a suspect. We had a warrant out for somebody with no name.
In 1998. Holly Dunn.
After he killed Chris, I felt afraid for my life.
Of course. I got up
And he climbed on top of me.
and raped
I
me.
knew at that moment he was going to rape me.
Surprise.
I tried to kick him, I tried to punch him, and he stabs me in my neck. And he said, "Look how easily I could kill you." It's amazing what goes through your mind when you think you're gonna die.
You just like, I'm going to very calmly and serenely breathe and try not to say bad words.
And he said, "Look how easily I could kill you." My mind was going
So I can monetize my
God,
channel. Not get dinged.
and you need to say your last prayer. And I just stopped. Then he raped me. I even remember
The
2
cheek.
trains went by while he was raping me. And I'm going, "Why don't you see me? Like, how are you a train
How
going
can you
by?
not see? Why can't you see me?
After he had raped me, I asked him to put my pants back on. Because I thought, if he's going to kill me, I don't want to be found here naked.
Please let me
He
put my
got my
pants
pants and
on.
put them right side out and helped me put them back on. Like, he was almost being somewhat caring. And I remember thinking, I'm going to burn your face into my memory. I'm going to remember every tattoo you have, every scar you have. I'm going to look on every part of your body, and I'm going to know everything about you. Because if I survive this, I'm going to get you.
I am getting even. Because you don't want to fuck with this
May of
bitch.
1999, a double homicide in Weimar, Texas,
Great.
was brought to my attention.
So he went from Kentucky to Texas,
Skip Cernick and his wife Karen
all over.
were found beaten to death with a sledgehammer, and Karen had been sexually assaulted. The reason it was brought to our attention was that it was so similar to Dr. Benton's case from 1998. Their car was stolen, just like Dr. Benton's. The fact that they were killed in their sleep and she was sexually assaulted, just like Dr. Benton. They all lived around railroad tracks.
Surprise.
There were fingerprints that were recovered at the Cernick home. And they put those into the system, and we hoped for a match.
Nope.
And so we had to wait.
1999.
After he had raped me, he hit me, and my mind completely blacked out. I was hit maybe 5 or 6 times in my face. And then I think he hit me 5 or 6 times in the back of my head when I turned over. I had scratches on my face like I had been hit with wood. He completely knocked me out. I do think he thought I was dead.
Of course he thought you were dead, bitch.
I don't even remember getting up to get help. I mean, I walked about 200 yards barefoot on the railroad tracks. I had a brother that had died when I was in 5th grade, and he died in a car accident. It was like My brother was leading me. And helping me.
What she went through, watching her boyfriend be murdered in front of her eyes.
Wasn't even her boyfriend yet.
On railroad tracks.
Just finally starting to get sexually interested in somebody. And look what happens. Here I am in UK. I'm dumb. I'm from Kentucky. I know, I'm from Kentucky too.
Literally driving me. It was like, go get help. Like, that's all I could think of. I didn't know if my attacker was coming back to hurt me, or if he was waiting to finish me off. I didn't know where he was.
Catherine Clay loves to watch about serial killers.
You're going to be killed.
Not the cinnamon toast crunch kind of serial killers.
Get yourself.
The ones that's scary.
I walked about 200 yards. I saw this house. The lights were on. The door was open.
Jesus.
I walked into the house.
Bloody
And
nasty.
they, I'm sure, were super scared. I mean, they didn't know if somebody else was coming back to hurt me.
Oh no, get her out of here.
911 for me.
I remember walking in, seeing
Oh my
Molly
God.
laying on a stretcher. It appeared to me that she had significant trauma and injuries.
Her scalp was coming off her head.
In the emergency room was stapling my head shut. My hair
Oh,
was so
Jack.
covered in blood that my dad thought I had dyed it red. I was sitting there, like, just hurting. And I was feeling
Can't do nothing. And you're not gonna give me no morphine.
It's part of the rape kit that they do, you know, collect hair samples, all that kind of thing.
The most critical piece of evidence is the DNA, because there were no fingerprints.
Oh yes, there's DNA
Uploaded
everywhere.
into the national database, but no match happened at that time.
Yeah.
Holly was able to provide detailed information about the suspect.
I remember what he looked like.
Male Hispanic in his 20s. It's frustrating as an investigator having that piece of evidence, but not having the connection, that link.
The fingerprints
But
that were recovered at the CERN
I would hate to be there.
those found at Dr. Benton's house. And they matched Angel Maturino Resendez, the Mexican drifter who had been going back and forth across the border, committing minor crimes.
Until he
And that's
committed
when we
a
started
major one.
realizing this could be a serial killer.
Surprise, serial killer.
Law enforcement agencies started looking at all their cold cases to see if there were any others that he may have done in the past. In
Look,
addition to the fingerprints, we had DNA in Dr. Benton's case as well as the Cernex because they both had been sexually assaulted. It took 3 or 4 months to be able to extract the DNA pattern where it could be put into a national database to see if you could find any other similar crimes or any clues about the killer.
wow.
And then we got a hit.
He,
It was from a 1997 Kentucky case. 2 kids on railroad tracks. The boy was murdered. The girl was sexually assaulted and left for dead. When I heard about Holly, I just about, that somebody survived. It was so huge.
big deal.
I was at my apartment. I had a knock at my door.
Oh no, not the cops.
And he says, we have a suspect. He brought a mugshot that
Sure looks like him to
showed
me.
and it was like seeing a ghost. I felt.
Like them ghosts of Christmas past. Yes, Stormy them. They're all the way around.
We knew we had a serial killer. There was an active manhunt for him. The horrifying thing was that while he was being hunted, he continued to kill people.
Of course.
Nationwide manhunt is underway for a suspect in multiple brutal murders in Texas and Kentucky.
Kentucky. I'm sure it wasn't just Kentucky
Around
there.
the country, especially who lived around railroad tracks, were just scared to death.
I kind of remember this.
In June of 1999, there were 4 more murders that were linked to Resendez on the railroad lines, all happening within a 2-week period. I mean, the guy is off the grid. He could just travel at will. It was scary.
All these people were dying, but somehow I lived through it. I was the only one that
What a pretty
could
girl.
tell the story of what had happened. So I was the only one who could say, this is the person. I just felt so fearful that he would come back and finish me off.
The railroad killer, Angel Resendez.
He
is
didn't know
now
who
linked
you
to
were.
at least 8 murders in Texas and
That's
Kentucky.
one of the things,
As May rolled into
you
June,
know,
we knew we had a serial killer on
the
the loose.
known versus
We
the
knew who he
unknown.
was, but we also knew that he would be incredibly difficult to catch.
He's vicious and brutal. We need to catch this man and get him off the streets before he hurts someone else.
Murders just kept happening. Just like living a nightmare.
Resendez, he was on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted. Everybody told me try to not pay attention to it all because it would
Don't
make me
pay
crazy.
attention to it. Don't look on the FBI every day
Read
to
about it sometimes.
make
Some
sure
investigations are working
he's
to
caught.
track him down.
Oh, don't do that. What happens if we don't find them, or he finds me and then we don't get to get him before we get him? This is Ranger. Shep Norris. He voluntarily surrendered. There we go. Cute. Guilty of capital murder. That's not life. That's death. Death row.
With Resendez would be unbelievably impactful.
I had
Oh,
a lot of
surprise.
anxiety leading up to the trial. I was so scared to face him again in court.
Oh no, not a Law and Order SVU real victim.
I remember looking at him. He had this black eyes, but I identified him. It felt good to be like, I'm in control here. You're not.
The jury deliberated less than 2 hours and determined that he did deserve the death penalty. She was
Death.
a nail in his coffin.
By titties.
It was a relief. It just felt good to know that he wasn't going to hurt anyone.